Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the country you are watching this stream from. My name is Hisham Server, and I'm a freelancer uh, who has been freelancing for over 2 decades. And recently, I've been teaching freelancing, internet related businesses such as blogging, social media marketing, digital marketing, how to establish a good YouTube channel, how to get videos and views on your videos, uh, how to establish digital products so you start getting automated money regardless of you sitting on the desk 24/7. And then I also talk about the importance of communication because I genuinely believe, as someone who has been doing this for over a long period of time on internet, uh, far better than anybody I know of in person, the success on internet is by largely dependent on the communication skill and your business development skill. So if you can somehow convince uh, your client or your business partner to uh, get into a business relationship with you and give you their business, all it requires is uh, great communication skill. And of course, after good communication skills, you are required to have good business development skills. And business development skills usually on the internet refer to the importance of getting hold of the business you get. So, if you're good enough in convincing somebody to give you a business, give you their money, lend you a contract, then I guess it's more important for you to make sure that you take good care of that business and you don't lose it. Many businesses go just down the drain, courtesy inability to manage finances, regulate the operations, and most importantly, taking care of their clients. So, business development is a very important skill if you want to become successful online. Unfortunately, it's all virtual presentation, unlike the in person interactions where you can convince somebody in a in person meeting or a coffee table and convince them to give you their business. This really does not uh, happens in the case of internet. Now I'm going to talk about my journey, and I guess for all the batch one students who I know it's pretty late, 12:15. That's not just the right time to come, and usually I try to come around 9:30, 10. But this being a long weekend, I had to take care of my clients first before I could take care of you. Sorry, folks, no hard feelings. That's how the world works, and that's how it has to be. I got to look after the clients who pay me because of whatever I do here on the YouTube, on the Facebook, actually is absolutely free without taking a single penny from any of my student. Um, I don't do any sort of things like Patreons and Easy Passas and donations because I genuinely believe that if you stand for something, then you stand firm on that particular thing. And I stand for free education. It's 2020, and internet has made education absolutely free. So that's what I want to stand tall on, and hopefully I'll sail through this challenge of not even asking a single penny from the students or my viewers, and instead I'm gonna use the model which YouTube has been working on, which Google has been working on, a same model that Facebook has been surviving on, and that's advertisement model. So whatever I do for you guys is absolutely free, but at the same time, I'm using this platform, and when I come live, take a little liberty of making a few decent cents, and that's how it's win-win situation for everybody. Now, for the success, you know what? I'm gonna take you to my journey, and this probably is going to be one of the best classes you'll ever take live. Far better than all the 5 week long training I've conducted. And I feel sorry for those who can't watch this live and miss this chance. But you can always watch this stream later. I understand watching a 1.5 hour, 1 hour long live stream again, knowing that it's just a recorded video. It's pretty challenging, and a lot of people do not have temperament nor the time to, uh, you know, sit for a long period of time and watch a video. But anyways, so I belong to a pure military family. Revealing this for the very first time in any of the live stream, be it YouTube, be it Facebook, or be it any in-person interactions. So my grandfather, let's just start with my great grandfather. He was a subedar in British Army, raised his sons, educated them good enough so that they could complete their studies and get a degree. So my grandfather was an engineer, and again an engineer in British Army, and then he joined Pakistan Army. My dad is a doctor, and he retired from Army in 1992. Retired at the rank of brigadier, which is actually the fourth highest. My uncles, my Thayas, Chachus, Mamus, almost 95% of all the family is is from military. This this is what my family is all about, and the reason why I'm telling you all this is because it was given that whoever clears his inter exams is supposed to appear in a preliminary exam for ISSB and will join the army. That's what my cousins have been doing. And again, belong to a family where 80% of the cousins are in army. And when I passed my inter exams, not by any flying colors, barely made it through. And then it was a general expectation from me to appear for a preliminary exam and hopefully join the army. But I had other ideas, and I every now and then I had this conversation with my father that military is not something I'm passionate about. So my dad used to get angry at times that what is it you are most passionate about? You surely have got to do something. You're not good at academics. You bring in the grades no father could be proud of, and we have not done business in our family. So that's a striking line for you. Silver lining, and I'll correct the dots later. Nobody in my family has ever done business, not in 3 generations. So, what do you expect to do with yourself in the future? Uh, do you want to end up sitting on a general store and not worry a bit about my reputation as a high gazetted military officer, as someone who is respected for his profession? And my father is largely famous for his great reputation as a doctor. I mean, they say that he's one of the best administrators. AMC, which is Army Medical Corps, uh, a, a section that has all the doctors in it. And my father was pretty anxious back then, pretty nervous and worried about my future. And when we, talk about this now, he says that you used to give me goosebumps. I mean, when I when I would think about your future, at times I was so worried that I literally could not sleep all night because I had no idea what to do with you. And growing up as a teenager, like most of the teenage boys are, I was least worried about his side of the trouble and his worries, and more focused on thinking about different avenues I'm most passionate about. But the real hit was, unfortunately, I was unable to identify that passion that could push me forward as a professional and then making a decent living out of it. So that was a real worry. Comes 1998, just going through my academic progress, nothing to be proud of, nothing in it whatsoever that would make my parents proud of me. So I get admission in a local college here in Rawalpindi in MBA, and one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life, of course, with consultation with my family, was to select masters as the specialization in my MBA. So pretty much went through the motions for the next 2 years, semester after semester, no grades to be proud of, leave alone bragging about them. 2.2, 2.3 GPA. And then finally the D day came when I was about to graduate. So 3 days before my graduation, having done masters in marketing, majors in marketing in my MBA as a specialization, now, now the worry begins to come in that I probably could have been better off had I selected finance rather than marketing, because with finance as the majors in my marketing and majors in my MBA, I could probably get a decent job in a bank or any other financial institution, and it also opens up doors for further education in finance and finance related subjects. I could do ACCA. I could even attempt inter CA. Forget about CA. I mean, the guy who is struggling to pass any subject with a decent marks, CA was a far cry, absolutely far cry. But anyways, as I began to have these doubts about bad selection of my majors in MBA, luckily I came across computers, and that's 98. And in one of the local bookshop, I saw a magazine of, it was Times magazine with a picture of Bill Gates on the cover. And my friend Shweb, known as Shebi, he told me that, this is a guy who has created an operating system with a graphical interface to it, and he's the world's richest man. Uh, Somehow I have no idea why I was so intrigued to know more about his story that I ended up buying that magazine with the money taken as a loan from Chevy, came back home, winter's evening, pretty cold, as you can imagine the evenings of Islamabad and Rawalpindi. And I started, going through the story of Bill Gates and about how he created operating system for IBM known as PC DOS, and then how he created an operating system with a graphical interface commonly known as Windows 95. And this was something I have no idea why I was so intrigued. Perhaps it was God's way of showing me what I probably could do with regards to picking a career and moving forward with it, or maybe having a decent professional life. Maybe it was just the God's way of showing me the way. So I, read that article, and somehow, somewhat deep in my heart, it began to kick from within that this is the kind of profession you should pursue for in the future if you want to make a decent living. You're good at nothing. You've done an MBA with no good grades, no good GPA. Nobody's going to give you a job. Dad is old enough to knock at every organization's door, and then talk to someone about you to give you a chance. And honestly speaking, I badly hated the idea of nepotism. That's how I am. I mean, I don't know why. I've always hated two things in my life. One is bribery, second is nepotism. Whatever I wanted to do, I just wanted to do it on my own. Sounds pretty foolish. As a struggling young teenager in his late I was 19 years old, you know, about to step in a professional life, but absolutely clueless about the direction I want to head to. So that magazine and the story of Bill Gates about, I'll be honest, I mean, that story that literally struck me was his achievement as the world's richest man. I, I was not much focused on his achievements in the field of software, an operating system. The striking point in all that story was that he is a CEO of Microsoft. So, CEO means Chief Operating Officer, the one who heads an organization and sits at the top of the chair, uh, not physically, but in spirits and in the hierarchy. And he's the one who drives the shots, and he's the one who makes the most money. So let's just find ways where you know I can start making money on the internet. And that magazine actually pivoted away for what would be an absolute dream career to follow. Call me, uh, self bragging about this. Call me someone who is, you know, whatever you want to call it. Uh, I take a lot of pride in my journey over the 2 decades. I take a lot of pride in what I have done, because not only it has something that has shown me the ways of self empowerment, but I have actually enabled so many people uh, to work with me. I have empowered so many people around me in my country. Never could I even think about doing this at such a massive scale. 2 decades later, and here I am having taught millions of people, not just in my country, but around the globe. And the silver lining, remember that's the word I gave you a few minutes back. Nothing made me more happier than finding out that my parents, dad in particular, is proud of me. This was it. I mean, when he would talk about me, he would literally have tears in his eyes. I was so worried about him. And here he is, somehow finding his own way without me holding his hands and doing pretty good. A lot of contribution, of course, goes to the mother as well. As far as the teaching is concerned, 100% of the credit goes to my mother, because had it not for her, I would not have done this. So, anyways, I'm going to come back and talk about the hardships here. I'm going to talk about the mistakes I've made in my journey. One thing is for sure, I was lucky enough to survive all these years, because when I was in this field of freelancing, uh, there was not much competition. It's a journey started in 1999 precisely, in Ramadan, in the month of Ramzan, and 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 I was an internet millionaire 10 years later. A guy who was struggling to find his direction for a professional life was an internet millionaire within the 10 years, within 1 decade of his professional life. How did this happen? This happened because of successful habits uh, I formed, and I you know, stood to uh, make sure. I believe that if you want to become successful, unless and until you've got certain principles to fall back on, unless and until you stand firm on your stance for what you stand for, you know, what you thrive for, what you want to do for yourself and for the people around you, uh, I think you just can't even think about success, leave alone becoming successful. Uh, if I look back at the success pattern of these 2 decades, here's what I would like to share with you. The first and the most important thing is I was passionate about what I was doing, and I really enjoyed every bit of it, every single second of it. I enjoyed doing freelancing, I enjoyed doing graphic designing. Later on, when I learned Adobe After Effects, Macromedia, Flash, whatever I did for my clients, I enjoyed every bit of it because money was a denominator. Call spade a spade. Let's be honest about this. At the end of the day, I knew I'll be getting paid in US dollars, not in Pakistani rupees. And that was a huge aspiration. Money is a byproduct of success. And success comes when you are passionate about something and you work literally 24/7, at times sleep under the desk to get the job done because you're so passionate about it. You love doing it, you enjoy every second of it. So the first thing is, I was absolutely passionate about it. The second thing is, if I look back at all those years, I think you got to choose your friends wisely. So I was surrounded with a pack who would not only lift me higher whenever I was down, but also they could face me and say on my face that, dude, you are wrong. And that's what you need to, uh, you know, make amendments in your routine. And they would just say it on my face that I'm wrong. So when they used to correct me whenever I was wrong, the third thing I learned was, if you find something wrong, If you find something that you're not passionate about, start saying no. I hope somebody is writing it all down. So when I ask you to repeat it, because in the end, those who watch this video again would probably fast forward all the way to the end and see if there are pointers for them to learn from. So the first is being passionate about. The second one is choose your friends wisely, and the third thing is that's something I've learned excellently. Start saying no. My friends used to correct me there and then, absolutely in a very harsh words. तेरा दिमाग खराब हो गया, पागल है तू. Somebody, blessed enough to have a pack that was always there to lift me higher, to correct me if I was wrong, and most importantly, um, to give me a reality picture that if I'm in a persona, if I'm in a eve of something, that's only me who thinks that it's going to work out the way I envision this to work out. And honestly, if you look from a third man's point of view, from an independence viewpoint, if you disagree to something, a good friend must come up and have courage to say it on the face that look, you're wrong here. And that's what I was blessed with. So I call it pure fate, pure luck. uh, then one important thing I've experienced is uh, I was no crying baby. When I say I was no crying baby, I would refer to my habit of not complaining. So some days in freelancing journeys were uh, fantabulously, exceptionally good, and some days were pretty, depressing, where you would not get a response from a client. But I never complained. The reason why I never complained was because of the very first factor. And the first factor was I was passionate about doing this. I mean, I loved doing this. I enjoyed doing this. So, what is the point of even complaining about fate, destiny, and honestly believing the destiny is something that favors the brave? That's what you call, that's why you say fortune favors the brave. And if you work hard, if you work smart, and if you become successful, people usually say he was lucky enough, but nobody uh, pays heed to the importance of all the hard work that individual has put over the years. And once they've become successful, everybody joins in, and uh, and then they they say that you were lucky enough to get there, but that's not precisely true. Lot needs to be attributed to all the hard work. So nothing beats hard work. But at the end of the day, if you complain about things, if you complain about resources, uh, you're a loser, baby. And then that's a uh, word coming from the Terminator movie by Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's never the lack of resources that that is a problem. It's never lack of resources. Actual problem is lack of resourcefulness. And lack of resourcefulness comes with the next attribute, that is networking. Networking, in old days, they say that a lot of big business decisions were made on a golf course. They would hit a shot, walk for uh, meters after meters, and talk about business opportunities. Internet has changed all that. With the emergence of Facebook as the world's largest social networking website, and all the Facebook owned companies, Instagram, WhatsApp, and then there is LinkedIn, then there is YouTube, then there is Pinterest. Networking has just become social networking, and it's relatively free. So you do not have to pay um, huge cost that's required to play sports such as golf. And literally by sitting on your desk, you can make friends from all over the world, and you can form great networking. And that's where the formula uh, was born, that your network is your net worth. Because if you want to get to your goals faster, one of the way is to have people help you in your mission. And how would people help you? People would only help you if you have done good networking. How could you do networking? You could do networking by using the power of social media. How do you use social media? Well, the answer is simple. Start uh, by creating friends on Facebook profile. Does that cost any money? No, it's absolutely free. What is the benefit of creating all those stranger friends on Facebook profile? The benefit lies in the future. You would not make any perfect sense of it when you're doing it. But when you start connecting with people, when you start doing networking, you'll find out that the people actually help you in getting to your mission faster. Why would they help you? It's a win win situation. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. What does this mean? It means that if you expect them to share your post regarding your website, regarding your YouTube channel, regarding your Instagram account, regarding whatsoever your brand is about, they expect you to do the same. Now, what does this mean? It means that without asking or requesting you, if you find something that's interesting on somebody's wall, just share it onto your wall. I hope you guys can connect the dots here, because I'm just in my groove here in explaining all this networking thing. So I really hope that there's a sanity that prevails in connecting the dots. Okay, fine. So if I share somebody's content, what is in it for me? There's nothing in it for you, but there's a lot for the friends who are connected with you on Facebook. Once they benefit, they're going to keep coming back onto your profile because they know that you share something that's benefiting everybody. Because you share post pictures and videos that are interesting. So they'll keep coming back onto your profile. Okay, fine enough. What are more opportunities here? Create a Facebook page, connect it with your profile. Facebook page algorithm works in a pretty simple way. If the content is engaging, Facebook starts giving you a weightage from the scale of 1 to 10. So anything above 5 means your page is healthy. What does this mean? This means that if your page health is good and it's above the scale of 5, I'm talking about the overall scale of 1 to 10, it means you do not fall in a gray area. And it means that whatever content you put on your page would probably reach out to a majority of the people who have liked or followed your page. And in the long run, when people start sharing content from your Facebook page onto their Facebook profile, you begin to realize that when you put in a link of your website, when you put in a link of your Facebook uh, uh, business, shop, YouTube, LinkedIn, affiliate product, there's a good chance that they will get to know about your business and they might end up doing a purchase. It all starts with a decent Facebook profile. It all starts with creating, a decent profile, adding new friends, even though they might just be stranger to you, and use the power of your network, because remember, your network is your net worth, and they will help you in your mission. Now, let me tell you some interesting facts about my freelancing journey that sort of like skyrocketed in sales between 2012 and 2014. A lot of my friends who were connected with me on different social media accounts, Facebook profile, and then there was LinkedIn. Whenever I would talk about my achievements as a freelancer on guru.com, every 6 months, I sort of like experience something interesting every now and then. Sometimes I would become a top seat. Sometimes I would become, showcased on their homepage in a Hall of Fame even. Sometimes they would highlight me in an email newsletter that's sent out to millions of freelancers. And all of a sudden, people began to know about a Pakistani freelancer. And when they would come and visit my profile on guru.com, they would get astonished literally. A Pakistani who has done over $1 million in sales as a freelancer. Okay, I'll leave you, I'll let you watch the PewDiePie's stream here, if that excites you. I wish I had half of the traffic of PewDiePie. That would have been interesting, right? It would have been very exciting to have what do they call it? A diamond button, which PewDiePie had. One of the rare people in on YouTube who won that award. Anyways, back to the topic. That's what distraction is. Anyways, back to the topic. Okay, thank you, Diddy. Yeah, yeah. Hang in there, stay by my side. You never know, I might just be able to convince you to continue watching these streams regularly. Yeah, T series also has. So T series and the PewDiePie are the two with these platinum or whatever button they call it. No distraction, JD. Stop it. I'm going to come back to my mentoring here. So all of a sudden, people were beginning to send me inbox messages on guru.com. Hey, listen, what have you done? Uh, are you living outside Pakistan? Because surely a, a Daisy living in a Pakistan, how is that they've done, a seven-figure income? And my answer to everybody who asked me this question, and it's a pretty legit, pretty, uh, you know, uh, useful question, because the reason why I say it was a useful question was because um, little did I know that few years later I'll be telling this story to 1.3 million students of DG skills. Little did I know that I'll be, training you guys and talk about uh, the importance of that one little attribute. And that one little attribute is work on your communication skills. If you work on your communication skill, if you work on your oral as well as in your on your written communication skill, you give yourself a fair chance of acing at every game, on becoming successful on every front. And then when you start getting a lot of freelance orders, uh, by the way, the difference between my era and your era is pandemic. So, right now, with 54 million Americans doing freelancing, as reported by Forbes, and my fair assessment is if only if 10% of them are doing digital freelancing, they are into IT niche. Surely, if their workload grows, sooner or later they will be inclined to outsource their work to the third world countries. No, it's not green screen. It's actually all real, and the silver button uh, is it's a little trophy I won on my main YouTube channel. Thank you for asking. So, communication is one attribute Warren Buffett uh, talks a lot about. Uh, if you search Warren Buffett on YouTube, you will come across many videos of Warren, who is the world's third richest man, uh, highlighting the importance of communication skills, oral and written. And then in his office, there's only one certificate hanging on his wall. That's actually the corridor to his office, to his cabin. And that certificate is about communication skill, a training he completed when he was in his late 20s, and has been hanging on his office wall for good on 50 plus years. He's 90 plus. He's 92 precisely. I think he's 93 because I remember pictures of Gates and Melinda celebrating his 93rd birthday. Shooter gaming, I don't know. I'm live for 40 odd minutes now. So not sure why you guys did not get a notification, but it's okay. Um, we're not discussing something absolutely serious. All we are trying to uh, figure out is the importance of successful habits that makes one successful. And I'm just, talking about my journey as a freelancer. So now back to the topic, okay? So we talk about the first attribute being the passion. If you're passionate about something, you give yourself an outside chance of cementing your place in that competition, regardless of the volume of the competition. The second thing is choose your friends wisely, because your friends are the one who lift you higher, and a good friend has a courage to uh, put you correct if they find out that you are in a wrong direction. So friends actually help in a long way. The third thing is start saying no. If somebody can write it down, I'll be grateful. Okay, so start saying no, and this ability of saying no refers to the importance of knowing your strengths, identifying the limits, and most importantly, knowing what excites you. And if something that is not of your concern doesn't excite you a bit, there's no point of even thinking about it, leave alone, you know, stepping on that front. So you got to develop an ability to say no. And that's very important. Successful people have this ability of saying no. As a startup, budding startup, an aspiring startup who has reached out to many venture capitalists over the years for my different startups, the one thing I've learned from those judges who would judge my startup idea is not only they were quick to judge, but also they were quick in saying no if the idea did not excite them. How rude in your in your perspective, how rude. But from their point of view, all they are doing is saving themselves a headache or two, saving themselves a huge time, and most importantly, not wasting a single minute in knowing more about your product or service, or your startup for that matter. So that's very important, right? Now, passion, choose your friends wisely, start saying no. What else do we have here? Uh, Complaining. The fourth thing I talked about is I'm no crybaby. So instead of complaining about lack of resources, I think you need to focus more on being resourceful. And how do you become resourceful? The answer is networking. Then we talked about the golf game. Usually famous for networking on a golf course. But social media has changed it. It has changed it to the point that you can add strangers on your social media profile. And strangers means, of course, you don't know them. But most importantly, they will help you in your mission because it's a win win situation. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. So the fourth is stop complaining, and the fifth is networking. Your network is your net worth. These network and the people in your network will help you in getting to your mission faster. Because if you take the traditional route, pre social media era, if you wanted to reach out to hundreds or thousands of people, the only way you could do was you had to advertise on a newspaper. Fani Mishi, I fail to understand what are these all question marks about. If you don't understand something, perhaps you may just refrain yourself from commenting. But what if you do not even know what I'm talking about because it's in English? I feel sorry for you. That's the best I can say. So the sixth thing is networking. And Facebook gives you a huge opportunity to network with peoples. You see? Yeah, peppermint. So Facebook gives you a huge opportunity to network with people, and that means that you can add stranger from any part of the world, depending on, of course, their skill set, their profession, and whatever it is, and then create a Facebook page. And if the health of a Facebook page is above 5 from scale of 1 to 10, whatever you put on your page, there's a good chance that it reaches out to all the people who have liked or followed your page. And at the same time, if you share the content from your Facebook page to your Facebook profile, you're giving a chance to your 5,000 friends. That's a limit Facebook has put. If you want to add friends, you can't add 5,001 friends here. But 5,000 is more than enough if you do it wisely. Because at the same time, you can open your following and people can follow you if your friend list is full. So, right now, if you go to my Facebook profile, it's a verified profile, by the way, with a blue tick. And I've got around, I think I'm hitting around 70,000 followers. That's apart from the 5,000 friends I've added on my Facebook profile. So that's how you leverage the importance of networking, because you expect people to help you by sharing your content, which means that once it gets the wheels and it begins to share from one account to another, maybe there's a good chance that you get a lot of views on your website or your YouTube channel, whatever your business is about. But at the same time, it's a win-win situation. So expect yourself to return the favor as they expect you to do it, because they've done it for you. So if you like something on someone's wall, don't think twice about sharing it onto your wall. Uh, and a good content shared on your profile encourages your followers to keep coming back onto your profile. So that's the sixth thing, right? You're right. The importance of networking. And then there's one important thing you got to understand that you got to lift other people who are in your mission to success. And you only do it by highlighting the importance of one important attribute, that if you want to make everybody happy, don't do business, start selling ice cream, because you can't please everybody. You can't change people. It's very important, folks. So if you want to become a businessman, you got to develop a habit of blockading, quarantining, filtering out negative people, because surely not everybody's gonna be happy about your course of actions. And if you don't pay heed to such people, I think you'll be relatively okay, reasonably good enough in your own skin, um, and giving yourself a fair chance of becoming successful in your field, because you can't please everybody. And most importantly, you can't change people. So, a successful journey on the internet is by large dependent on the people you choose to work with. And if you find out that sometimes you're hitting your head against a wall, that's actually a sign of calling for change. Get a fresh legs in, fresh brains in, who probably could uh, get aligned in with your vision and move forward with your pace. If you have seen the movie Jobs, it's about Steve Jobs, and one of the famous scenes, he actually fires his one of the very closed old friends, of course, an employee, right in the meeting board. No strings attached, no second question asked. You're fired. Choose people who are equally passionate, energetic, and have got the same vision, absolutely aligned with your vision. And until and unless you find such people, keep on repeating the process of getting people in and letting them go. Fire is the word here. So surround yourself with the people who, share the same vision. So the guy actually, disagreed with Steve Jobs' vision, and time proved that Steve Jobs was absolutely right. The guy was thinking on different lines that didn't align well with the organization's vision. And Steve was smart enough to spot it. And without wasting his time as well as his partner's time, we fired him. So, anyways, make sure that in a pursuit to your happiness, you don't change and start pleasing everybody and try to change them. Don't change yourself. Don't change anybody. Instead, focus on your vision and make sure that you're here to do business. Um, you're not here to sell ice cream. You can't please everybody. And at the same time, be passionate enough to lift other people. Because once you lift them in your mission, you're only gonna grow, and that's where the sports system comes in. Surround yourself with the people who've got a fair drive. That's the word. Okay. So summarizing this all, if I this is all I have experienced in my journey of 2 decades. Uh, so I have to admit, kind of confess one thing. I'm teaching a batch or 4% about online business and freelancing. I do it by watching your videos. Absolutely, that's how you do it. Um, at least I'm good enough to aspire somebody uh, to follow my footprints, and that's it. You're good, and wishing you all the best, for my friend. So if you recap this, you have to be passionate about something. You got to choose your friends wisely. Start saying no. Don't be a crybaby. Understand the importance of networking, because your network is your net worth. And pick your support system wisely. uh, Make sure that you choose people to work with you or for you who are equally passionate about uh, the thing as you are, with the same frequency, with the same drive, with the same energy. And don't change people, because you'll only be wasting your time, and smart people do not waste their time. uh, that's it. That's how you become successful on the internet. That's what I've done over the years. I have not tried a bit to please people. If for a reason, if for a strange reason, if I end up pissing them off, sorry to use the word, I mean, that's how it is. Some days are good, some days are not so good. You're not here to please people. You're not here to sell ice cream. You're here to do business. And business requires tough decisions. Business requires thinking above and beyond friendship, or favorism or nepotism. So the friends and the people you choose to work with, make sure that they do not inject the negativity inside you, because that would be the last thing you will ever need, to have their negative energy. If they can't follow the vision, you should be smart enough to even realize that it's time to let them go, because they do not match the frequency. They just do not have the drive you have to uh, get to your goal. Thank you, Hushar, for highlighting all these points. Hushar has done a great job in writing these, so I'm gonna highlight these points and put on screen. So Hushar says that the first is being passionate about something. Second is choose your friends wisely. Start saying no. Stop complaining. Don't be a crybaby. It is your lack of resourcefulness that's causing a problem. It's not the lack of resources. How do you do resourcefulness? Uh, you do social networking, you create friends. How do you want to become successful? Polish your communication skills. Then choose your peers wisely. Filtering negativity is actually wrong here, Kushar. It's choose the people who work for you wisely, and don't change them. There has to be a drive as good as you have in your business, in your mission, in towards your goal. And if they do not have this drive, let them go. I'm pretty good at saying no. The reason why I've learned this importance is because I've just told you. Whenever I used to take my startup idea in front of venture capitalists, seed ventures, those jerks could, unbelievably, would not spend a single minute uh, beyond their rejection point. So if they have rejected my idea, no matter how hard I try to convince them to give me a second chance, they won't waste their single second in. So Ivan says, "Thank you for mentioning this point, sir. Negativity and nepotism is the reason I left the previous job, even though I worked there for 3 years." Absolutely, Ivan. Where are you from, bro? If this, if you don't feel inside out, if you don't feel passionate about something, if every single second weighs in as heavily as an hour, uh, if you get butterflies wobbling in your belly before you arrive at work, if the commute to work somehow gets uh, pretty, painful, if you do not want to converse with your fellow workers, if you do not enjoy the work you do, if the heart is not there, if the mind is somewhere else, These are clear signs that you need to change your profession. And even you've done the right thing without giving it a second thought, bro. So, anyways, uh, for those who have signed up for the training program, thank you, Kushar, for writing it again. So, I'm going to highlight it on the screen. Thank you very much. Choose the people wisely at work. Acha. So now the good thing is you need to sign up for the farm if you have not done it already. Trainings actually start from Tuesday. It's not Monday because Monday I'm going to upload freelancing videos inside freelancing playlist. I'm sure you guys understand that you'll receive an email from me every single day highlighting the agenda of the training, giving you the links of the videos you're expected to watch, and then of course an assignment. So assignments would start from midweek, not from the very first uh, lecture. But most importantly, these lectures will not be live lectures. So instead, there will be a small videos uploaded inside different playlist. And here's my promise to you guys. 84 of you are watching this right now. Where are you guys watching this from? Can I know the country you are watching this from? And I've asked for the country. If somebody tells, here's the mouse in my hand. If you tell me you're from Karachi, trust me, I'm going to kick you out. Show some common sense, okay? Country, mulk, desh. I mean, if you can't follow basic instructions, how do you even expect me to, you know, teach you? Anyways, flip the side here, and sometimes it's good to have a uh, discussion in a lighter mode. So, uh, if somebody says that he's from Kahuta, he'll be the first to be kicked out. Where's that Kahuta guy? A lot of people from Pakistan tonight. We do not have any foreigners here. Oh, no foreigners tonight, folks. They came in for a while. So Sweetie Pie is from UK, okay, and no resemblance with Cutie Pie. PewDiePie, okay. India, that's fine. So we got one friend here from India. Farzan, Shooter Gaming says Kahuta. There you go. Afghanistan, Kakakot. I need to know your real name if you don't mind. As whenever your Elias pops up, I know you're from Afghanistan. One of the most beautiful place. I so want to go there. Yeah, I know there are folks. There are actually a lot of people who have signed up for the form. Hey, by the way, if you want to enroll for the Batch 2 training, there's a link in the description of this video. Sign up, it's free, and you'll receive an email from us on Monday. So far, I think over 3,500 people have signed up for the training. 3525 precisely. And that's an amazing number, actually. 3525. A lot of foreigners. So it's going to be a lot of challenging for me as well. India, Bangladesh, UAE, Bangladesh, Nepal, Canada, Multan, Afghanistan, Italy, Peshawar, India, PK. I fail to understand how do you even type in your city when you were supposed to write in and tell us your country? Qatar, Malaysia, Philippines, Batgagram, Myanmar. A lot of people from Myanmar, Botswana, Philippines, Nigeria, Saudi Arabia, Myanmar, India, Mumbai, UK, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Australia, Bangladesh, Ireland, Saudi Arabia, United Nations. Now, I'm going to make sure this guy doesn't get in. United Nations, Greece, Sri Lanka. How stupid of me! I didn't even I didn't even share the screen, huh? I really apologize. Give me a second. I'm gonna take you to the screen. Let's enjoy this together, okay? Let's enjoy this together. So Australia, Design Sparrow. Hey, Australia must be pretty early there, no? What's your name, by the way? So, anyways, let's just scroll through the countries list here. UAE, Saudi Arabia, Bangladesh, Nepal, Canada, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Italy. A lot of Italian folks as well. India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, USA, United Kingdom, Bahrain, interesting. Somaliland, where is that? Denmark, United States, Canada, UAE, a lot of UAE desis, Indian and Pakistan, I'm sure. India, 21 तोपों की सलामी है तुझे जाहिल कंट्रीज चल रही हैं सियालकोट anyways Germany and I'm not going to click on other but it's a mixed bag between Pakistan and Indian. A lot of desis here, but a lot of foreigners here as well. It's going to be exciting, absolutely exciting. Guantanamo Bay, अच्छा वहां से भी आया था. हाँ, था कोई ऐसा वाकई मेंबर from Area 51, the power of boots. No, there's no Guantanamo Bay. Stop making this up. So, if I ask you about a skill set you want to learn from what I'm going to teach you, starting with freelancing, then there's digital marketing, social media marketing, blogging, YouTube, digital products. What is that one skill you are most passionate about and you want to learn it? Is there something? If I can, get to know in the comment section, I'll be grateful. There's someone from Potoki, yeah, absolutely. Hmm. Social media marketing, okay. Social media marketing. So you want to learn how to create useful ads by spending less, uh, expecting more on Facebook and Instagram. Virtual assistant, freelancing, social media marketing, Amazon. Okay, okay, copywriting, useful ads, interesting. So much for the shyness. 70 people are watching this stream, and it's 1 hour past the Friday morning, 1 hour plus duration of this video, and people are so shy. Amazon book publishing. This time we'll learn this, Doc. This time we'll learn this in batch 2. Writing my blog. The blog reminds me I still need to activate all the pending posts on VD Info. God, I'm so busy that I often forget about basic things. Okay. Freelancing, blogging, copywriting. Very interesting. Very interesting. You're gonna see a lot of. Do you want to know? Actually, let's do it for tomorrow. Tomorrow in a live stream, I'm gonna tell you what you should expect from me in batch 2 training. And it's going to be a lot more comprehensive, far more comprehensive than what we have done with batch 1. Far more comprehensive. A lot of bidding, lot of blogging, lot of social media ads, lot of SEO, a lot of keyword research, a lot of copywriting exercises. It's going to be far more comprehensive than what we have done in these live streams of batch one. So I guess it's getting pretty late here. Uh, yeah, I mean, forget about moderators in the streams. Just because there'll be the recorded, you'll see the recorded videos, so there will be no commenting, right? All you'll be uh, seeing is me on a screen and my shared screen, of course. By the way, these videos they're gonna consist of 85% of screen sharing. So you'll only see me uh, for a very small duration, perhaps at the beginning of the video and at the end of the video. No, I'm not a one man company. No, uh, it's a pretty decent 15 plus people company actually. Tomorrow is live with Imran Ali Dina, so I'll wrap it up and then I'll come live. I forgot about that live session. I see so many people are they're excited about this live stream because Imran wants to make it a hard talk. He wants to talk about freelancing. He wants to talk about my journey. He wants to talk about who I am. He wants to talk about why I don't appear in public places. He wants to talk about why I've created this English channel. And I don't know. Let's see what he wants to talk about. We, everybody will find out, including me tomorrow. So I think it's around 10 p.m. Friday night. Uh, I forgot about that, but it's going to be interesting. I mean, knowing Imran, he's a decent enough host. I think he'll keep me comfortable. See you guys tomorrow. Thank you very much. Bye for now.